Throughout the sports department, we sort of utilise any available technology we think we could enhance the student experience online. So therefore, generally at the moment, we use Twitter and Facebook through our pages and groups. Twitter to get hold of students more rapidly, Facebook for discussion, and pages for information, which are kind of all linked in as a threesome. And the students really interact well with that because, let's be honest, they're on it 24/7 anyway, so having one of our notifications pop up means they're more likely to get the information that we require. We also, through the use of iPads and other tablet devices, use several different apps for marking purposes or assessment, such as Chalkboard or Video Physics or Noteworthy, Notability, Annotate Me, which are kind of devices that we use, as I said, for marking scripts or analysing student performance through video and giving them instant feedback. Similar to probably the technologies we currently use, we use Facebook and Twitter integrated into our teaching, mainly to get information to them and ask questions, purely because I think because of the usability of those social media, they're designed for anybody to use. So therefore, it makes it very easy to put a poll up and get opinion, or form a discussion forum. Yes, you can do this within the university VLE system, but it's not quite as user friendly. And again, because it's not in a medium that the students are already on and easily accessible, the participation rate is probably almost certainly going to be lower. I mean, you hear about lots of different things. I think without going too much on about Facebook, but that concept is quite a good idea for the way it's laid out, the usability for a potential VLE. And some of the proposed VLEs that I've seen, which have got Web 2 enabled content, means that you can make your module pages more interactive through use of embedded video, scripts, rolling feeds that can just bring your course alive a lot better at a module level and an overall program level. I think which moves us away from basically a shell on top of your old Windows 95 or whatever version you're using. I think that's a real opportunity with the future of VLEs across the country is to make them more interactive. Someone has gone out there and made a lot of money producing this social media platform, which we could use an educational version of, which would therefore the students be used to using. And overall, we are there for the student experience, therefore they've got to interact with it and they've got to be able to use it. I suppose within the current constraints of the system, I think fundamentally, as we are about progression and achievement and attendance, those three major concepts at the moment take a lot of work to monitor through either myself or most of the team and our academic assistant. If there was a way of integrating that into the VLE, which would enable us to have a sort of snapshot at any one time of those three key concepts, that'd be brilliant. I'll give you an example. Every single module has a gradebook with the students' grades in, but none of them talk to each other. So if you want a program level to see how the student is doing across all 4 modules in their year, you have to physically go into each individual gradebook or export them, and that creates a lot of work to bring that all together for every single student. And then again, registers are currently done by hand or manually or through a spreadsheet which we've devised. But again, you have to bring that all in together, which can take about a week's worth of work to produce one solid spreadsheet which gives you all that information in a snapshot. Whereas if the VLE could actually do that, which has most of the system on its system anyway, that would make my life a lot easier, and the teams. We could identify and give student support to those who are not quite progressing as we would hoped and they would hoped, and also for the higher end student, where they're on the borderlines, we could try and give additional support to try and push them on to make sure everybody achieves what they want to. At the moment in the current system, I would have to say sort of twofold really. They're both to do with assessment, but one would be the Turnitin drop boxes. And even though we can talk all day about some of the issues with grade mark as a system and the plagiarism originality report that's produced, Those two tools are very, very useful in terms of getting feedback back to the students in a speedy time, within sort of 10-day turnaround, and the way they use that to improve their own skills as referencing is essential, and that's a fantastic development that we've taken on board across all the modules in sport. The other thing that we use quite extensively is quizzes. Now, you can make them a simple multiple choice or to quite extensive long short answer. You can embed video if you've got the time and the technical know-how and the patience to work with Blackboard. You can sound, etc., which can make them all very, very interactive, and again that brings some elements of the course which are otherwise quite dull, such as research methods or some difficult concepts in biomechanics or anatomy, to life, and therefore the student engagement is increased, and therefore their achievement and student experience overall is higher and more positive environment.